I found Janis Joplin. I was like, oh, and I found Jimi Hendrix. I was like, hey, Hey Joe. Just I used to play it over and over and over and over and over. Stan,
what a tune!
Freak with Larry Graham on the bass and Rose singing and Cynthia on the horn. I mean, the band was ridiculous. And I mean, music is the international language. It's the international love language. We can all get together and feel good on a piece of music.
Did you get into the hip hop, the early hip hop sound?
I did. You know what's funny? When I was in Texas playing with this band with Zachary Bro, we actually opened up for Africa Bambaataa and Soul Sonic Force, which was so weird because we were like this little jazz band.
Literally, that was a message, wasn't it?
Yes, broken glass everywhere. People living on the streets that just don't care. And it was like when I met him.
Oh, you met him?
Yeah, well, a couple of times now, because the first time I met him, he was, we were doing the Grammys.
It's like
Shaka.
in the recording studio. You must have
that was amazing because
it must have been such a vibe.
It was basically that the environment was the recipe for that song because.
Did you meet Jazzy B?
Oh yeah. When we came here. They brought us over here to open up for another rapper that's another one, KRS-One.
Wow.
KR, Chris, man.
What a beast. He's a beast.
Myself, I've written songs from myself that Prince ended up using. So yeah.
Wow.
And Shaka Khan, Layla Hathaway.
You've done interviews before? Cause it's like,
one or two.
Yeah, because honestly, you nail these questions like a true professional. It's like, wow.
I've been in this business for a long time, baby.
if it actually is one for you, we're all buckled up and we're ready to go. We're going to be rocking Ghetto Heaven, the soul to soul mix. Are you ready for this, Sandra?
Let's do it, London.
Let's do this in London town. Let's rock this thing. So lights, camera, action. On this week's show we have an incredible singer and songwriter who was lead singer of The Family Stand with the huge international hit Ghetto Heaven. She's toured with legends like Roy Ayers, Shaka Khan and so many more, and is absolutely an amazing talent. We have all the way from the Big Apple to the Big Smoke of London town. We have the vocal powerhouse, the one and the only, the incredible Sandra St. Victor in the world-class, iconic London Black Cab. Yes, Sandra.
And the crowd goes wild. What a great intro.
You're in the back of the London iconic Ultra Cab.
I love it.
In the back of the London taxi. And
this
it's an absolute,
crazy cool.
I must say, it's an absolute honour to have you in the cab.
Thank you.
And I want to give a massive shout out to Marsha Hendricks.
Absolutely.
My man Prick Kelsey, Vicky and Marcus as well.
Yes. Family.
They're doing absolutely incredible things.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
They're quite, especially my issue as well, like behind the scenes type stuff.
Yeah.
It's amazing how
she's amazing.
She's totally,
she's really good.
Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
But Sandra, very quickly, what brings you to London town? What brings you to the big city?
Hey, you know what? I live now in the Netherlands.
Oh, you're in the Netherlands
I'm in the Netherlands now. And so when they said they were coming over, Marcus is going to do Ronnie Scott's, which is sold out.
So it's like a stone throw away, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, you know what I mean? And he did Handel and Hendrix yesterday.
That's right.
It was fly, man. So I really wanted to see Hendrix House anyway. But I'm like, okay, Marcus is here, Maisha's here, I'm coming. So, do a little sit-in, a little jam with him, and, it was really awesome.
And Marcus as well, I'm not being funny, but what an absolute talent. And Vicky as well, on the drum tip as well.
Yes,
they got styles for miles.
It's insane. And it's like, not telling my age, but telling my age. I mean, I've really almost literally watched, especially Vicky, grow up. She was a little girl when I first met her, and Marcus was a teenager when I met them. And
how did you meet them?
In New York. Jeff Smith from Family Stand had used from Peter Panic, but he used Marcus on a session, and then when we needed a guitar player for Family Stand at that time,
Marcus stood in.
Yeah, of course, and he was so quiet and shy. But when he picked up the axe, it was on and popping. It was like, oh, Okay.
He's an absolute beast.
He's
isn't he?
insane.
He's
He was insane then, but now he's like on another level of, I mean, just.
he's on another
he's
level of
really-
insaneness.
Of
Yeah.
insaneness.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's an absolute, and also not just that, he's an absolute legendary guitarist.
Yeah, he
he's
is.
actually a diamond guy as well. He's actually such a nice.
That's
Vicky
what
and
makes it-
you know they're beautiful people.
They're beautiful people, and you know, give credit to Mom. Their mom is a beautiful human being, strong, beautiful, just like good people. Good people make good people.
Well,
Right?
it reflects.
Yeah,
it totally
so,
reflects.
to have somebody as talented as them be as good, you know, good good Earth people. It's like.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
It's just it's special.
And
It
I
really
can't
is,
wait to
and
get-
actually, it's quite rare.
It is very rare, and I can't wait to get to Ronnie Scott's and check them out as well, and check Marcus out on the
That's
guitar.
right.
It's going to be a legendary performance.
Yeah.
But also as well, anyone watching this, we're going to kind of at the end of this kind of little cab chat, we're going to drive around and play Ghetto Heaven live and direct in the cab. So whatever you do, make sure you don't go nowhere, because that's going to be quite special, driving around with Sandra in the back of the cab playing Ghetto Heaven in London town.
Where it started, actually.
Exactly, yeah.
Where it started.
But I'm going to go to where it actually really started for you from the start. Where are you actually from, and what was it like growing up as a kid?
Yeah, I'm from Dallas, Texas, which is in the South, I had a pretty decent childhood, you know, middle class black family, and but yeah, we were in the South, so I had to learn some things the hard way.
Right.
Well, you know,
It could be
that's
quite
just
difficult.
part. It's just part of being a black person in the South when at the time that I grew up. But my family was really wanted me to be, a doctor or a lawyer or one of those things, you know. And I was just into music, and
What was you like? Was you singing every day? You just loved to sing?
yeah, I sang around the house all the time.
Yeah.
you know,
Like doing the
and,
dishes and like.
just doing my chores. And
Yeah.
when I was 8 years old, I was dusting, and I remember saying, I really like how this feels. I like how singing feels. And I was like,
Well, it made you
this-
feel really good.
Yeah, and at 8, I clearly remember exactly where I was standing. I was dusting this lamp of my mother's that I hated because it looked like a coffin. But it was like the inside of a coffin, so I hated it. I was dusting it, but I was singing. And I was like, I said to myself, I'm a singer. I'm a singer.
You can do this.
Yeah, I was like, not that I want to be this as a job, but that was who I was. I knew that at 8. So, it's just nothing has toppled that feeling. And well, yeah, you can't.
And you've
not be
never
who you are.
looked back.
No.
Never look back. And what kind of music, was you growing up on as a kid? Would it be like the Motown sound and?
Yeah, by the time I was, at the age of consciousness, as a infant, of course, there was Motown stuff going on. But by the time, I really started tuning in and checking in, Stevie Wonder, Marvin Gaye, and then later on Earth, Wind and Fire, Parliament Funkadelic. But when I became a teen, I really got into just all these voices of jazz, Ella Fitzgerald, Sarah Vaughan, June Christie, Dinah Washington, and it it just sort of opened my mind up to not just what was on the radio. And I just dug and dug and dug and just found Janis Joplin. I was like, and I found Jimi Hendrix. I was like, hey, Hey Joe. Just I used to play it over and over and over and over and over and over and over, and it just really it blew my mind. Then I got into Elton John. I got into I like songs. I was like, I really
You love soulful
forms,
songs.
and I love how they put them together. I love great lyrics. I love a great lyric. So I'm blown away by Bernie Taupin, for Elton, Stevie Wonder, Peter Lord from the Family Stand. I'm just blown away by anybody that can come up with brilliant lyrics, tell a story. Don McLean with American Pie, you know what I mean? So storytelling is at the core of my being.
And the lyrics.
That's
the quality of the lyrics and what's being said.
That's the story.
Because you think about it, Sandra, like really music is the voice of the people. Especially what's going on nowadays, you know, with, well, it's been going on for many, many years. But, you know, tracks like War.
Yes.
And like Marvin Gaye,
Whoa,
you know, Marvin Gaye as well, like the message
yes.
that they had within their music.
They told some stories.
Not just the lyric, but also the production as well. The production was on another level as well.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, when you talk about production, I think of two, they're not opposites, but they're totally different. And that's this fella, Sly,
yeah.
and Quincy Jones, right? Because Quincy had a very clean production style, but he those layers, all the layers, and how he arranged things and put them together, and it was so beautiful. But it never felt dense. It never felt the other feeling was overpopulated, or you were over, you know, nothing like that. It all worked to get the feeling of that song, that piece through. Sly Stone, his production, it was also multi-layered,
and also the percussionist, the people playing the instruments.
Oh yeah, well yeah, you can have a great idea, but if you can't pull it off, that, you know, what is it? It's just it's an idea. So of course Quincy Jones is going to pull in the best of the best, you know, to play everything, okay, to perform everything. And Sly's ragtag band of funky, you know, geniuses, they just clicked, man. I mean, it's just nothing like what he put together. Stand.
What a tune.
Freak with Larry Graham on the bass and Rose singing and Cynthia on the horn. I mean, the band was ridiculous. And the again, his production, the arrangements, just freaking off the charts. Beautiful. Got those stories across, and they were, you could call them message songs, but nobody felt like that. Nobody felt it was a message song when James Brown said, I'm black and I'm proud. Nobody felt, oh God, they're preaching, oh God, they're trying to teach us something. Nobody felt that, because we were dancing and it felt good to, yeah, I'm black and I'm proud. Yeah. You know, you didn't feel, you know, where I think today when people try to put a message out, a lot of times people are like, oh, we just want to dance. But you can dance too, you know, so.
Well, you know, music is the soul, is the heartbeat of our soul, isn't it? I mean, without music, you know, the world would be a really, really depressing place, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, music is the international language. It's the international love language. We can all get together and feel good on a piece of music. You know, we can all get together with differences of opinions and differences politically and that sort of thing, and all feel good musically on the same piece of music. So, you know, when somebody disagrees with you wholeheartedly, even ethically or morally, and you see them dancing to Stand, are you going to hate them now? You know, yeah. I don't like the song because you like it. I mean, no, it's just the music is the music, and that still means what it does, and it still does what it does to us. You know, so. And
also them, you know, them tracks from back then, they're timeless classics. And the funny thing is, like, my kids now, they'll see like something on TikTok or whatever it is.
Yeah.
They'll play like some music on there, and it'll be something from the 70s, but they'll think it's current.
They'll think it's current,
but those tracks, they're timeless classics. You can play them tracks in 500 years time, and they will still sound as good as what they did back then.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a science to it, and you know, some people say like Prince. They say Prince has figured it out, but like there's a science to it, math. There's a math to how to get people to feel a certain way with, you know, chord progressions and tempo and all that sort of thing. I'm you know, I don't know what that is. I mean, but I believe you can't believe in math. Math is math. You know, it just is. But those songs, whether it was conscious or not, they have that thing that just gets in you,
touches your soul.
It gets there. When it gets you, it got you. And it's certainly when you when a song like that or an artist gets to you at that sponge age, those sponge years, when you're, you know, in like 12, 13, 14, those are those years when you're really, you know, all them synapses are awakening, firing. And though the music that you fall in love with at that time, that's your soundtrack. That's gonna be your soundtrack.
Without a doubt. And the great thing about music as well is sometimes you can piece your history. You can look back, and because that certain track was playing that you loved, you can say, oh yeah, well that happened then.
Right. Oh yeah, I can remember that. Right. It's like, oh yeah, because yeah. Oh, that was about that time that song was out, and yeah, we was okay. We did that. That's where we were at because I was in. So yeah, you remember it because of the soundtrack of your life at the moment. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no,
Cool.
music is powerful. I mean, we've seen it in film, the way it affects the film.
Yeah.
I mean, take like Jaws or like Star Wars or them soundtracks
come on.
as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
Incredible.
Those guys, Hans, what's his name?
Ennio Morricone and all them.
Right, the people that do those. I mean, that's also like. Oh,
that's another skill in itself, isn't it?
She's trying to get in the cab. She said, "Mama, no, that's not. You can't get in that cab." No, but no, those that's another freaking art form of itself. Making soundtracks for film, TV, movies. It's because you have to work with what is on a screen as opposed to totally what's in your mind. It's like what's on that screen. How do I not overshadow this moment but support that moment, and that's another science.
It is totally another science.
Yeah.
But going back to what did you do first? Did you start touring?
The first thing, I went to Arts Magnet High School, which is Booker T in Dallas, for the arts, and Nora Jones went there, Edie Brickell went there, Roy Hargrove, Erica Badu, and several actresses as well, who I never remember the actress's name. I don't remember the musicians that came out of there. But so I was already on that road, and then I got into I was doing opera music at the time, and I won a lot of contests as a mezzo soprano in Texas doing things. Went to college for a few years, and I was like, I don't want to sing the same hundreds of years old songs for the rest of my life. And I love those songs. Some of the songs are really beautiful. A lot of them, I'm talking about, a lot of them are very, very beautiful, favorite songs of mine. But I knew I didn't want to be an opera singer when I was at the university. And I came back home and started playing with a band in Dallas. There was a guitarist named Zachary Bro who wanted a singer, and I ended up being the singer with his band. And with that band, that's how we met Roy Ayers. Okay, so I'm really truncating it, but
of course.
But Roy, we had a connection because we played the same venue, and Roy invited me to come to be in Ubiquity, Zachary and I.
And what was it like working, alongside Roy Ayers? That must have been like, a huge highlight.
It was and when you're in it and you're that young, I was a teen, right? So, you don't really think of highlights of your life at that moment. You're just living your life. This is my first foray into professional, on that level. I mean, I did, but they all our band, but this is now I'm with an international artist. And Roy was crazy, so I was a very, sort of straight, I was kind of straight girl, you know what I mean? And just, it was like I was thrown into the fire, only little girl on this tour with these grown men, from these New York grown dudes, and they were very protective of me. I'll give them that. They were all very protective of me, but it was definitely wild. So I learned a lot in a very short period, and I enjoyed every moment of it,
What was it like touring?
Yeah, it was fabulous because now I'm going all over the place. I mean, he brought me here for the first time. He brought me to Africa for the first time. I went to Japan for the first time. So all that traveling was fascinating at that young age. And
what year was you with?
I started with him in '82.
Oh, 82.
82.
Wow.
Yeah. So 82, 83, and then in '84, that's when I went with Shaka. So, but just those early years being on the road, you grow up really fast. I tell you that.
And you must have learned a lot.
Totally. I mean, you better. you better go to school or get school. So it's like, I
So you went in kind of like head first, and
yeah, I mean, was not, that was not my plan. I wasn't planning to leave Texas and go, you know, I wanted to be a singer, but I knew I was a singer, but I had no plan of where that was going to start and how. So this sort of happened, and I didn't want to take I didn't want to take the job with Roy Ayers because I was like, I don't know him, I don't want to go, and the band talked me into it. So I was like, okay. So we went, and we ended up touring. So the things just happened, and so many things that happened so fast. It seemed like in a very short time, that it's almost hard when I look back at it. It's sort of difficult to fathom how happenstance can create an entire freaking existence. And that's really what it did. My being in New York is the reason I'm with Family Stand. My reason, the reason I'm sitting here right now. All of that stuff just happened because Roy was like, you want to come to New York one night on a dressing room in Louisiana somewhere, just because that one moment,
that connection,
that one moment is why I'm here.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's really unfathomable, really. I like it though, and I think back, I was like, wow, those kind of I don't feel like those things happen anymore. Maybe they happen, a lot early in your life, and then they slow down. But it's crazy times. But it was nothing. Would not trade it for the world.
You wouldn't change it at all.
No, not at all.
When did you go solo? Was that 93?
No. So the first thing I was with Shaka until the Family Stand. So that was I'm sorry, you're right. I'm getting 80s and 90s mixed up. So 80s, I was a Shaka until 87. Then I went with Family Stand, and then we started the solo thing in 93 because Moon and Scorpio was 91. So you're right. You're absolutely right. 93.
And how did you get involved with Family Stand?
Okay, so there's this phenomenal singer, Lisa Fisher, artist, who, when I was playing with the band in Texas, she was singing with the Crystals, and so we were kind of our roots were overlapping, so we kept running into each other, and we just became friends. And she was majorly cool, and I thought, she was a dope singer. She said, well, if you ever come to New York, call me. So I did, and she got me into session scenes and all that sort of stuff, and she actually was doing demos because Peter and Jeff from Family Stand are producers first, and they were producing folks. They were producing, a lot of artists, and they needed singers to sing their demos for them. She was doing those demos, but she got too busy singing, going on the road with Luther Vandross, and so she said, you know what, I'm going to introduce you to these producer friends of mine, because they need somebody to do demos, and that's how I met them. Actually met them in Dallas at a Luther concert. I happened to be home. She said, "Oh my God, they're down there right now. You guys go to the show. You come to the show," and she sat us together, and that's how we met at a Luther Vandross concert.
Wow! And did you move to New York?
Yeah.
When
with
was
Roy,
that?
with Roy, with Roy.
Oh, was you in? You was
I
in
moved to
New
New
York.
York. Yeah, I was in Dallas.
Oh, so
were
in the
doing
early 80s, you was in New York.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you first went to New York? Because that must have been a bit of an eye opener.
I was terrified.
Was you?
Terrified because
Why was that?
Well, it was February 21st to be exact,
freezing cold.
1982. It was freezing, and the cab driver, it was like several feet of snow on the ground, and the cab driver was just driving like it didn't matter. And I'm from Dallas, so we didn't have inches of snow, and I'm like, slow down. So why is it going so fast? He was, and then he passed the address that I was going to stay with William Allen, who was the string arranger for all of Roy Ayers' play. That was his hookup for us to stay, me and Zachary. And we got, and he passed the address going down a one-way street in Harlem, and he said, "Oh, no problem." Reverse. I'm like, ah!
Brilliant.
So, no, New York was like
a big eye opener. Did you see like all the trains, all the graffiti on them?
Of course, yeah. I lived there through all of that. Yeah.
It must have been quite edgy, but also full of kind of soul as well.
it was full of, I mean, the cultural aspects of just being in Harlem, you know, and just people feeling so confident and free. I mean, not that I'm saying Southerners were not that, but when I was from a very safe, you know, family neighborhood and all that sort of thing, and that was my knowledge of that. So just being in the middle of folks, just being out there, you know, was freaking awesome for me. But it was too awesome, you know, because I was like, oh wow, oh wow, you know, I actually got mugged, jumped because I was staring at a crazy guy once. So, the first year I was there, like first few months I was there, it was like crazy. But oops, I'm sorry, shouldn't do that. I was thinking, this is my necklace. What is that? Oh no, this is a microphone. Sorry.
But yes, it was a little bit of an eye opener. Was you obviously, you know, rap music started blowing up around the like late 70s, 79 with like Rapper's Delight, Curtis Blow.
Yeah.
And then in like around sort of 81, 82, you had like the electronic stuff, your Planet Rock, Perfect Beat, Play at Your Own Risk, and all these, you know, Captain Rock and all that. Did you get into the hip hop, you know, the early hip hop sound?
I did. You know what's funny? When I was in Texas playing with this band with Zachary Bro, we actually opened up for Africa Bambaataa and Soul Sonic Force, which was so weird because we were like this little jazz band, and they just put us in front of Africa Bambaataa and Soul Sonic Force. But yeah, that was fun. But in New York, I really loved, you know, the beginnings of hip hop, and when it was rap at the time. When I really started loving it though was when like Public Enemy.
Oh yeah.
And like Tribe
EPMD.
and, you know, EPMD, that was even later, but like I'm trying to think of the first artist that Eric Rakim, that's what I'm trying to think of. Rakim. Eric B. and Rakim, yeah. I was like, yeah. I mean, again, it was about a great rapper is telling a story.
Those lyrics.
I mean, those lyrics are the story. So when you're telling a story and you're telling it in a way that, I mean, the flow, their flow, how you can do that rhythmically, and you know, and LL Cool J, how they could, off the top of their head,
totally
make up stuff, right? You know, just flow off the top. You know they're making up because they're talking about stuff people in front of them. You know what I mean? So
I don't know how they do it. Did you have a dabble at MCing as well, Sandra? Or
did I what now?
Did you have a little dabble? Like, did you ever go at MCing?
No. No.
Look at bust the rap.
Oh my God! No, I'm not gonna bust no rap for y'all. No, but no. I'm not gonna break out my rapping skills. But I do have a couple of songs where I call it, you know, just talking, where I'm talking in a rhythm, but I would never dare to call it rap. I'm just talking, you know, almost like how Gil Scott-Heron would talk, you know.
Lost
what I mean?
Poets.
Yeah, you know. So, you know, but I am talking in a rhythm, you know, and I'll get to a chorus where I'll sing something. I have a couple of songs like that I've done. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What are you working on now, or what
I'm working on a thing now, and one of those songs is going to be on that. It's called "What Would Miles Do?" You know, so it's just that one's based on, you know, as an artist, what would Miles be doing right now? You know, so.
And once again, it's all about them lyrics.
It's all about the lyrics.
It's all about the lyrics.
What I like about rap is that you can say more things. You got more words you can crunch in there. Yeah, see, with a song, you got to really edit it down, and you know, bite-sized pieces. But with rap, man, when I realized how many, because I would write out raps. I would like write out because I wanted to, you know, I rap along with them, you know, at home, you know, but I wanted to, like, I sing along with songs. I wanted to rap along, so I was like, I had to figure out what they were saying.
Yeah, some of them like, rap tunes, you know them word for word.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, tracks like, you know, Rapper's Delight, Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course. I mean,
and
everybody knows that.
I'll tell you another powerful track as well. When it first came out, when I first heard it in, I think it's 1982, was the Message by Grandmaster Melly Mel.
Yes, that was.
And the message, literally, that was a message, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes, broken glass everywhere.
Everywhere.
People living on the streets that just don't care. You know, and it was like when I met him.
Oh, you met Many Mel?
Yeah, well, a couple of times now, because the first time I met him, he was we were doing the Grammys with Shaka, and he, of course, is the rapper, Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan, let me rock it, Shaka Khan, let me rock it. That's all I want to do. Shaka Khan, let me rock it, let me rock it, because I feel for you. That's Melly Mel. So I was like, shit, Melly Mel, oh wow, you know. So he did that show. He did the Grammys with us, and just recently, like 2 years ago, I think maybe 2 years ago, the System, you know, the System, the group, the System. You're in my system, you know, and don't disturb this groove. I love that song. Back to you. That song is a jam. Anyway, they did a song. They asked me to do some ad libs and stuff on it, and Melly Mel was on that song too.
Wow.
So it's a song with me and the System and Melly Mel.
Melly Mel, absolute legend. I met him a few times actually.
Yeah.
Top guy as well. But you know, one of the game-changing tunes was without a shadow of a doubt The Message.
For sure.
It was really one of the game-changing tunes.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, even now there's some incredible tunes now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's cliche almost to say, but Kendrick Lamar is insane. He is like, he is certifiably insane. He's so good. And you know, I again with the how he can pull together a story and make it so entertaining, you know, and still saying stuff is that's that magic grease right there.
That's a magic skill, isn't it? It's absolutely a magic skill. But going back to Family Stand with Ghetto Heaven, you know, the first time I heard that, it kind of blew me away. It was one of them tunes where you're like, wow, what a tune. And you had Soul to Soul, you had their remix on it.
Yeah.
Which we're going to play, obviously, at the end of this little cab chat, which will be quite special to play that. But tell me about Ghetto Heaven. Who was behind it? Where did you, who produced it?
Yeah, it was all us. It was all us. We.
Did you ever dabble at the producing as well?
Say again? Oh yeah, I was part. Well, basically, Family Stand. We produced ourselves. Okay, so we didn't have outside producers. So yeah, that has been that's where I learned how to like produce my own vocals and to arrange my own, you know, songs. Hanging out with those two monster producers, you know. So Peter Lord and V. Jeffrey Smith.
Legendary.
They're my musical soulmates forever and a day. So, in the beginning, you said she was the lead singer. I am still the lead singer of the Family Stand. That ain't never changing.
And what was it like? What was it like in the recording studio? You must have.
Well, that was amazing because
it must have been such a vibe.
It was basically that the environment was the recipe for that song because. We were recording for that album. We were not in a studio. We were in Jeff's studio in his apartment on the 29th floor of the projects in Brooklyn, Ebbets Field Projects.
Wow.
Okay,
I
the legendary.
I thought he was in the studio.
No, we did that at the house. Okay, because
he must. I'm not being funny. He must have such a.
He's brilliant.
He must be amazing at putting everything together, like the electrics and the way it all works.
Oh no, he does.
Because that is a skill in itself.
Yes,
that's not just a producer.
No, Jeff is they called him a multi-instrumentalist. He's a multi-everythingist because he knows how to pull all the wires, he knows how to crunch all the sounds, he knows how, and then he could make the song, and then he could play all the instruments on them. So I mean, Jeff is like a one-man situation, so. But we're in his apartment. He's got his babies running around in saggy diapers around our feet, and mama screaming, "Come get out of here!" His wife coming and grabbing him. Get that, it's working.
We're in the middle of a
we were like trying to sing. We're trying to, recording right there, and she's got to go cook for the kids and get a bottle. And sometimes the elevator was broke. We had to walk up 29 floors. So it was the ghetto, but it was our heaven. Okay, so
it was Ghetto Heaven. So where did the title of the tune come from?
Yeah, I mean, it was Peter, who is our just in-house, visionary. Okay, He's just a visionary of all sorts and all subjects, you know. So he always has these amazing, you know, lyrics. That's why I mentioned him earlier when I said, you know, Elton John, Bernie Taupin, Stevie Wonder, Peter Lord Moreland, because what they do with a song. Lyricist, just insane. You know, he's a great songwriter, period. But no, he came up with that title, and we just started, you know, putting it together. You know, the stories of the ghetto, and I mean, I don't even say the stories of the ghetto because it didn't feel like it was about the ghetto. It was just like where we are, what we are, and what we're doing. The people we love. This is us, right? This is us, right? The sister, you know, who got the little problem on the street, you know what I mean? You know, Lana got to get a little sipper now every night, you know, listening to the rep on the red radio. That's my aunt. That's all of my aunts, matter of fact, you know. One of my aunts is the sister that did on the street. One of my, you know, so we all know these people. These are us. They are us. We are them. So we were just writing about what we knew and who we were, and I think when you put that much honesty into your music, it's gonna touch somebody, and that's been a core belief of mine. No matter what it is, it's got to be honest. So if somebody asks me to do something, I have to dig it, I have to feel it, or I'm not doing it. And that's probably why I'm not like Crazy Rich, because I just don't do things that I don't dig.
No, you stick to your guns, you know, and you know, you haven't sold out.
No, you could you could definitely say I haven't sold out. Because,
you gotta keep.
My bank will tell you, no, she hasn't sold out.
You gotta keep it real.
Yeah, my bank account will tell you she has not sold out. She's definitely not sold out.
Brilliant. But that tune though, it did blow up. Where did it get to? Did it obviously charted, didn't it?
Yeah. So some people say it got to number 3. I'm like, I don't know, because I recall, I don't know what charts I was looking at, but it certainly was number 2 in the States and number 1 over here on some charts. I just don't remember what they were. But it charted. It was a massive hit, and all praise due to the mighty Frankie Crocker.
Yep. Give me a little clap there.
Yep. Yes, he was over here doing a DJ like exchange or everything. He was here for several months, and he was just blasting Ghetto Heaven. Nobody knew anything about Family Stand in America. It blew up. We were like, label told us, the records is taking off in the UK. We were like, what? Why? You know.
No, it was massive. It was massive,
crazy over here.
It was a massive tune over here. And as I say, you know, like Soul to Soul remixed it as well.
Soul to Soul was, yes. I think that, of course, helped it blow up, certainly here.
Did you meet Jazzy B?
Oh, yeah. When we came here, they brought us over here to open up for another rapper that's another one, KRS-One.
Wow.
KR, Chris, man.
What a beast. He's a
beast.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He's one of my favorite
storytellers. Whoa. That guy, man. He could take, and he will teach, and you will learn, and you will be served, and you will be highly entertained whilst doing it. So they brought us over to open up for KRS-One. It's like, which was a stupid move, because the audience was like, what is this? They came here to see a rap show. And here we are up here like saying like little Rocky songs, and then we better get to Ghetto Heaven quick. So we got to Ghetto Heaven. We cut that show short, because it was like they were like,
I'll tell you, Chris, KRS-One, you know, he's an absolute legend. I mean, you know, so many classics, and that, you know, as a lyricist, he is up there with the top of the cream of the cream.
For sure. That's why I'm like, that's the one I was really trying to think. I was thinking Rakim, and then who's the other one I really love? Chris, man.
Chris, KRS-One.
Chris. The bridge is over. The bridge is over.
The South Bronx. The South Bronx.
Oh, just so much. It's so much that guy. Yeah.
Also, those them hip hop producers as well. They was incredible. I mean, people like, you know, Marley Marl. You know, the Ultimate MCs, and I mean, there's Mantronics.
Oh yeah, right.
Mantronics. Yeah, incredible production as well. Right. And Sandra, tell me about you know, some of the music, because you wrote music as well. You're kind of, do they call them like is it called a ghostwriter?
No, I'm not a ghostwriter.
I don't even know what that means. I've just heard the term.
No, ghostwriter is like, it's usually for books, you know, and when somebody writes, you're like Trump said he wrote his book, he didn't. He had a ghostwriter. Okay.
Oh, I see. Right, so you are a writer.
I'm a writer.
You're a proper writer.
I'm a writer.
Right. Thank you for
my
putting
name
me
will be on there.
putting me right on that. Right. So you are a writer. And
Correct, songwriter.
who have you wrote songs for?
Well, with the Family Stand, we did stuff, several things for Paula Abdul, which is like for Family Stand, you think that's different, but she wanted to be edgier. She requested us for that reason. She wanted more foundation. I mean, edgy. She just wanted more meat on her songs. So on her second album, you know, her first album was great, sold like 14 million copies or something. And then she wanted to take it musically to another level, so she asked for the Family Stand. So we did several songs on that album. Wrote and produced for her, and then of course later on I did with myself. I written songs for myself that Prince ended up using. So yeah.
Wow.
And Chaka Khan, Layla Hathaway, you know, some Dutch artists now that I've been over there, you know. But for me. Songwriting, when I think about how folks write for other artists, you have to want to tell their story now. So I remember.
So you got to kind of try and get in their head and think about what.
Yeah,
they're thinking.
I go and get in their head. You know, I want to know if you just just sending a song out there for somebody. If you're a pop star, you can just get some songs, right? But for an artist, that artist should already have a story, probably does. So just and I don't go and interrogate an artist, you know, but I will say, well, you want to talk about anything in particular, or you know, or not even on an interview type of thing, just hanging out, gathering,
try and get to
listening,
know them.
you know,
do a bit of research,
do a little bit of in research in my head, you know, thinking about, okay, what is that? Oh, okay, and then I can start formulating for them what they want to say, or with them what they want to say. And I mean,
that's a total skill in itself.
Yeah, I like doing that because it is challenging, and it's also very rewarding when somebody hears what you wrote and they go, "Oh my God, yes!"
I love it.
Yes, because then you know you got what they were feeling, right? It's extremely rewarding.
That's quite special, isn't it?
It is. It is.
That is quite special. And what are you working on at the moment?
Well, I'm at home back in the Netherlands recording for my own album. I'm putting out an album titled 11 because it was 11 years ago that I put out a solo record. So, yeah. So we're doing it with Mother Tongue Records, which is a label out of Italy. And it's really cool working with the Italian guys, you know, because they have such interesting ideas musically. And for me, working on a solo record like this, when I work with the Family Stand, it was always this collaborative thing. As with my solo things, it's just me, right? So now I feel like it's more collaborative thing with Mother Tongue, and taking in their thoughts and ideas and musical senses, and oh, okay, that's cool, you know, and vice versa. So it's a nice experience for me. A new experience to be doing this on my own record.
And when do you think that's going to drop?
At the beginning of December is what we're shooting for. So
and it's called 11.
11.
So people, look out for that because that's going to be an absolute.
It's going to be good. It's good.
Wicked album. So we're going to have to support that.
Yes, we got some moves on it. I'm definitely because of the Italian guys, you know, and the things they've opened me up to. There's some body shakers on there, so it's like we got some grooves that people go, oh, for the DJs. So,
yeah.
Some really cool shit, man. I really like how they work.
I cannot wait to hear that.
Yeah, man.
But that's going to be absolutely incredible. But before we kind of wrap it up as well, you know, what would you say, like, you know, what does music, you know, what does it kind of mean to you? I mean, like, it must be like feel like a release, like, you know, you must get caught up in it and lost in music.
Yeah,
it must be so. Is it quite relaxing, or can it be quite frustrating as well?
It can be all of that. Music for
all of them,
me, music is life for me, and my my experience of music grows with me, right? As a child, or as a younger person, a child certainly, growing up, it was just I was like a sponge, and the music just filled me. It was my everything, my foundation, building my thoughts. Me ethically and morally. Of course, my family being good people as well, of course, environmentally. But that music and the things that I was listening to, molded me as a human being, as a person of a part of a community of beings here. That's because of the music I was listening to, and. As an adult now, I know what kind of music to put on when I want to wallow in my, in my darkness. If I want to wallow there, I can put some music on to take me right there, go right there with me. If I want to have some uplifting music so I can clean the house, I know exactly what to put on. If I want to just sing along and sing, the library we all come up with, we all have over our lifetime. It's like this is it's just the backbone of everything you can do. When you go on your walk the dog, you got music, you got, I can think of things. You give me it is basically, like I said at the beginning, who I am as a person. I'm a musician. I am a singer. It is who I am.
You're an amazing talker, by the way, Sandra. I mean, have you done interviews before? Because it's like
one or two.
Yeah, because honestly, you nail these questions like a true professional. It's like, wow.
I've been in this business for a long time, baby.
If it actually is one for you, is one for you. If you wasn't if you wasn't a singer-songwriter, what sort of profession do you reckon you would have gone down?
I wanted to be an 18-wheeler truck driver.
No.
Yes.
One for with the old CB, one for a copy.
Yeah, man. I wanted to be on the open road, traveling.
With your Yuki bar.
Yeah. I just wanted to be out there on the road with a big wheel. I swear, I was like, if that answer has been consistent for my whole career. What would you have done? I wanted to be a truck driver. I wanted to drive across country in a big 18-wheeler.
Truck. Yeah.
Seeing places, going places, experiencing different things, and y'all load that stuff off. I'm gonna go
do you know what? Talking of driving, do you know what? If you grew up in London, you would make an absolute amazing London cab driver, because you've got the gift of the gab, the talk, and you would love, you would love this job.
Really?
Meeting all styles of people.
I could see that. I could actually see that. I could see
you'd
that.
Be a great
maybe I should hey, wait now, second phase, maybe.
Yeah,
and I think the cabs are so cool.
Yeah.
These cabs are so freaking cool. The classic ones like this.
Well, yeah, I mean, this takes years to study. You're talking like 4 years to study the craft of the knowledge. But it's really, really tough. But let's go out soon. So basically, is there any kind of advice that you can give up and coming, artists that are kind of starting out,
No.
or you just think
because business wise, it's a whole freaking world. It's the wild west. I cannot, and I would not even dare to think that I could direct somebody in this music environment. The only thing I can ever say, and which also remains consistent, is as an artist, you gotta be yourself. Like I said earlier, it's about that honesty. The honesty is what will connect with people. Be yourself, because everybody else is already taken, right? You may as well be you. Do what you honestly feel, what you honestly think. Just put that out. Be true to yourself. And I've heard a lot of artists say that with this question, but it's the best advice you can give. It's the best advice.
With what you feel in your soul.
Absolutely, because you will connect with somebody if you're in that honest energy space.
Right, what an incredible answer. And before we get this cab rocking, Sandra, is there like, do you want to go at the old school way? Is there anyone you want to give a little shout out to? Or do you want to give because there's so many people, one big shout out to everyone, your fans and...
Always to the fans, because listen, again, I would not be where I am right now were it not for the folks appreciating what I and we do. We cannot exist without that appreciation. It means everything. So over the years, I've had some folks that have been there since the beginning, folks that remind me of things that I've forgotten. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. I mean, my heart goes out to you. And while I'm going to give I'm here in London, big shout out to Frankie Crocker, rest in power, my brother, for starting me on that path, starting us on this path. And thanks, Maisha, for hooking us up with Steven.
Without a doubt,
and my baby Marcus Machado, for getting me over here this time.
And we're going to be rocking Ronnie Scott's tomorrow night.
That's right. But
absolutely amazing cab chat, Sandra. I hope you kind of enjoyed this.
I have. This is cool.
Is it a little bit different,
man.
isn't it?
This is wicked. I love it.
You're in my studio.
This is so fly. I'm like, I'm in the cab. This is an interview. All right.
In the iconic black cab.
The iconic
But
black.
we're going to whip out the speaker now, and we're going to get this cab rocking to and play Ghetto Heaven while we have a little drive around the streets of London town. So I'm just going to set up the speaker. Right, we're all buckled up and we're ready to go. We're going to be rocking Ghetto Heaven, the soul to soul mix. Are you ready for this, Sandra?
Let's do it, London.
Let's do this in London town. Let's rock this thing. Bring back memories.
Jazzy B, Nelly Hooper, big ups.
Oh yeah. Wow, memories. Woo! Wow, what a blast from the past.
Fun.
What a blast
Nice.
from the past. Sandra,
love it.
absolutely amazing having you in the
Hey.
back of the cab.
Thank you. I've had a blast. This is so cool.
You're absolutely incredible. And how can very quickly, how can people follow you as well? You got any DMs or Facebook
Certainly.
page?
Yeah, both of them. Just Sandra St. Victor. That's my name.
Sandra
Official.
St. Victor.
Official Sandra St. Victor on Facebook, and just Sandra St. Victor on Instagram and TikTok, of course. And the official Family Stand is also on Facebook and Instagram.
Well, massive shout out to every single one of you.
Yeah.
And it's been an absolute incredible cab chat.
Yes.
And once again, an absolute honour to have you in the back of the cab.
Thank you.
In the
Thank you.
world-class,
Thank
iconic Ultra
Yeah.
cab. Sandra, you're amazing.
Thank you. So are you, Stephen. Thank you.
Let's get you back to the hotel.
All right, love.